My name is Carson Arthur, and as a landscape designer, I've been given this wonderful opportunity to design fantastic outdoor spaces which the Green Force team helps me build. But this time, we're going to try something a little different. You see, I'm about to give up creative control.
Kind of surprised by that one. And you'll be supervising it? You'll be...
Yeah, absolutely. I'll watch it the entire time. Now, the space we're going to work on belongs to these two art galleries, which feature the work of students from a local college of art and design. And who better to come up with the inspiration for this space than those kids? This is going to be a garden makeover for the students, by the students. So here are the galleries.
That's right.
Honestly, I mean, art galleries don't really make a lot of money. You could do much better with other things in this space. Why? Why are you doing this?
I guess part of it is we have a soft spot for galleries. My wife's an artist, my daughter's an artist, my son's an artist. It's a big part of our life. And we also think it's right for the area.
Well, it's good, because it makes me feel good about doing this space. Now, this space links the two galleries, okay? What do you want to see out here?
The challenge is reconciling, Carson, a number of different elements. We have two different gallery tenants, and while they do collaborate and do some things together, they are two distinct entities. So they want to keep their two entrances.
Okay.
Beyond the square edges, just look at the big sign band. It'd be great to do something a little more dramatic up on that parapet wall. It's a big sign band.
Here's the other thing that I want to do, okay? Because this is a student gallery, all right, I would like the students to design this space, with your permission.
At first blush, we were kind of surprised by that one.
Okay.
Okay.
No, wait, there is a reason. Okay. They may have a completely different approach to how to use this space that I might not see. And I'd like to include them and get their buy-in into it.
And you'll be supervising it? You'll be...
Yeah, absolutely. I'll watch it the entire time.
I've got Carson's assurance. He's going to be shepherding these talented young spark plugs, and we'll see what we get.
Okay, does that work?
We're on.
All right, because believe it or not, we have a lot of design to do for a very small space. I think it's really great that these galleries are supporting our student artists. And as a result, I want to do the same thing. I want to give these kids the best possible opportunity to show their work. This is an opportunity for them to really put themselves on a path to a great future.
There's lots we can work with. It's pretty open.
I didn't think it was so open, so it looks like it's going to be fun to do something really cool.
All right, here are the limitations of the design that I'd like you to come up with, okay? We can replace the wall, so you can get rid of this if you want to, okay? The front of the building, that's fair game, okay? Change it in any way you think you can. So that big space over top of the windows, yeah, that's just begging for something. In fact, almost everything in this space is open for change. You guys can go crazy, except all of this right across here has to be kept open, okay? Because the galleries are thinking that that's where all of the patrons are going to spill out to in the summer. Not now, because it's cold.
I think one of the challenges will be kind of keeping the space open while closing it off to the rest of the street.
So whatever you guys can come up with, I'm going to try and build it for you. Okay? Let's go get warm. Freezing.
I wanted to bring more of an artistic aspect to just a basic wall and integrate plants within it to really bring like a green focus.
I guess it was sort of just trying to connect the two galleries, because you have to remember that there are two there, and it's kind of interesting to sort of play with the dialogue between the two of them and then just sort of fill in the less used spaces with sort of like more greenery to bring it to life a little bit.
The inspiration actually came very personally because I'd never been to X-Space before. So actually walking down Queen and going toward Ossington, and I almost missed it. And that sort of inspired me, the design, because something that you can really see from Queen would really benefit the whole project, I think.
The inspiration was that I used to work at a botanical gardens a number of years ago, and it was like a pyramid shape, so I really liked that idea and wanted to incorporate that into the vine structure.
Even though this is a small space, there are quite a few parameters they have to work around. So once they get some designs down on paper, they're going to present those to me, and I'm going to take their inspirations and create one cohesive design that takes the best of everybody's ideas. The students came up with some really amazing ideas for this space, and I'm really impressed with how much effort they put into this design. As a result, I definitely have lots to work with for this concept. Unfortunately, there are a few things that I can't do. Now, I really wanted to do the idea of the big signs up on top of the building with the projection screens behind them.
Basically what it is you have 2 galleries in the space, so I figured it'd be interesting to have 2 signs in the space as well. And they would sort of act as these sort of rear projected panels.
But structurally, I can't make that work. What I can do is take the concept of the designs and drop it down onto the face of the building, kind of like what Jim asked for. And I'm going to do it in metal, because I think metal is a very good industrial feel for what's happening at the gallery. The other thing that I really liked was the fact that 2 of these students came up with the concept of coming in from the corners for the pathways. So the students got it right, and that's how I'm going to start my design. Now, to delineate the 2 pathways, I'm going to use 2 different colors of stone. That way, the walkways have one color, and the negative space in between has a second color. It really helps to clearly define 2 separate entrances into 2 separate galleries, but it gives Jim the usable space he asked for. I'm also going to use the stone element in the retaining walls. Now, I love that concept of using the punch-outs in the walls.
And then inside of the wall, cutouts that could act as planters. So put plants inside of them, and then at night you could light them, and it would be somewhat of an attraction.
And I'm going to incorporate that in the 2 walls on the side, but I'm also going to put a 3rd wall in the space. Just a little wall in between the 2 galleries to help link all the features together, but also to create a little bit more separation. I'm planning to make these retaining walls about 3.5 feet tall, but I'm going to incorporate one of the student ideas on top of them. I am going to use glass panels, kind of like they have in their designs.
I used a glass partition, maybe colored glass, yellow glass, that was triangulated so that it divided the space but still left some space for the neighbors to see it.
There's one final element I want to incorporate into this space, because right now we have a lot of stone and glass. I want to bring in green, plants specifically, and I'm going to use this concept of using rounded plants and really curvilinear shapes, because it's a great juxtaposition to all the hard surfaces we have. Once I put these kind of plants into my design, I'm going to take this concept to Jim, in addition to all the students' plans, and really show him what they'd like to do in his area. We've run into a bit of a problem. I know Jim's a little bit concerned about the tree change.
I'm looking forward to seeing whether Carson got those trees right or not, and whether that's going to work out.
Green Force is on Ossington Street, helping 2 adjoining art galleries fix up their outdoor space. And I've enlisted the help of several students from the Ontario College of Art and Design to assist with this transformation. With a fantastic plan in hand, I'm off to see the landlord for his approval.
So this is my design, but there's also the designs from the students, okay?
Great.
I was very impressed with what they came up with. So here is the end result, all right? Now, you talked very clearly about wanting to keep this space open for the gallery. This is sort of the overflow area.
Yes.
And that's what we've done here.
Yeah, so we've kept our nice open gathering space when we want it for that purpose.
Right. So we've got black flagstone leading into one door,
Right.
black flagstone leading into the other, but the negative space in between is going to be a tan or a light gray, okay, depending on availability. All right. Now, this is an example of what's happening with the retaining wall. I'm building it out of a big walling stone. Okay. I'm going to match that stone to one of the 2 colors of the flagstone in the patio.
And that's not going to look too heavy and imposing, is it?
Well, these are going to be about 3.5 feet tall.
Okay.
Okay. This is a sheet of glass on top of it. Now, I know it feels like there's a lot of stone. In the 2-dimensional, it's very hard to imagine what this is going to look like. Okay. I'm introducing height though, and I'm doing it here with these trees.
What are they? What kind?
I'd like to bring in pyramidal oak.
We don't want to have too much plant material because we are trying to keep it as an open area, but I think it'll be great with those 2 oaks.
I'm also bringing in boxwoods in front of the windows. Now these boxwoods are mounding boxwoods, about 2.5 feet tall. That's total height.
I think this is looking great, and I think that both of our tenants are going to be pretty keen on it as well. So let's go.
Great, because that's what I wanted to hear. Now we can get to work.
It's a piece of paper at this point, so it's not 3-dimensional. It's hard to tell what it's going to be like exactly, but it's exciting that a lot of the student ideas have been pulled in.
Well, we have Jim's approval on the design, which means today we're breaking ground. We're going to take out all the old asphalt, and we're going to start with our retaining walls.
With all of the original asphalt gone, I need to go out and find the new material that we're going to use to replace it.
Tino, what's with all the snow you got out here?
I don't know. We don't need it, but
You can keep it out here, that's for sure.
Okay.
I want some walling stone.
Okay, I've got some right here.
So then what is this?
It's the strata wall.
Okay, and that's sawn top and bottom?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, that's a nice look. And how tall is that?
It's 4 inches.
Okay, I was actually hoping for something a little bit bigger than that.
I've got some bigger material right there.
In this situation, I felt that natural stone would be the best to really play up the idea of urban nature. I wanted a great juxtaposition between the man-made materials like the metal sign and the glass with the natural materials of the stone. Tino, is this the flagstone you're talking about?
That's right.
This is huge. This is bigger than the project I'm working on right now.
I've got some smaller stuff.
Okay, well, what is this right now?
This is the Evo Black.
Because that is a beautiful colored stone. Do you have a tan color to go with it, maybe buff?
Yes, I do.
Wyerton?
Yeah.
All right, that's a great color for what I want to do. And because I wanted a separation between the two pathways, I chose a really nice black and a nice buff color to give me the really good contrast I was looking for. Things are really progressing well in the space. We have all the rip out done, including that old partition wall and the asphalt. The new stone has been delivered, but before we get too far along in the construction, I want to bring Jim in just to get his opinion. Jim, I wanted you to kind of come at this point to see a few things.
Sure.
See how it's progressing.
Yeah, great.
The walls are going in. The guys are just putting coping up.
Yep.
Okay, so you can see that this is the height of the stone wall. On top of that is going to be the glass.
Looks
Okay?
good.
Now, I've staggered the walls different lengths because I'm also putting the wall in the middle.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
You all right with that?
Asymmetrical, good.
This is the flagstone that came in. Okay,
Yes.
we have the buff color, which is the beige color that
Sure,
goes in the
good.
negative spaces. And then this is the black that I was talking about.
Yep.
And this is going to make the pathways in.
Sure.
Exactly like I described?
Yes.
All right, now we've run into a bit of a problem. Okay? I'll be honest with you, nature really hasn't cooperated for us
Okay.
on this site. And because we got the cold snap, those two big oaks that I wanted to bring in, they've gone dormant. I don't want to wait to spring to put trees in, okay?
Right.
I have some award-winning emerald cedars. They're 8 feet tall, they're absolutely stunning. They have the same sort of shape as the oak, okay? But they're an evergreen. They're green all year round.
Well, the green all year round sounds good. I
Okay.
guess that's appealing.
I know Jim's a little bit concerned about the tree change, and in honesty, he's losing fall color, but what he's gaining by switching the oaks for the emerald cedar is fantastic year-round interest, which is probably gonna work better for the gallery anyways.
And you're offering the Carson Arthur guarantee that it's going to be spectacular.
Always.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing whether Carson got those trees right or not, and whether that's going to work out.
Now, how does it look at this point, though? Is this what you expected?
No, it's better than I thought. This is really looking good. I like the design, but I really like the sort of porous nature, the really rough nature of these. It really helps against all the smooth surfaces that we have.
Good.
I think it's great.
So then better than expected.
Better than expected.
Okay, because this is exactly what I was planning on having
Okay.
happen. Because you know I wasn't going to put my name on it unless it was perfect. I kind of thought you'd be further along at this point. The frozen ground is a real problem for us.
Have I ever let you down?
I mean, that's a good point.
The Green Force team is helping 2 not-for-profit art galleries rejuvenate their outdoor space. Assisting me with this design are several emerging industrial and environmental design students.
Today we're putting the bones into the garden, and by that I mean all the stonework is getting done. That includes the walls and the flagstone patio for the entryway. We had the city stop by and put in 2 new bike racks. And we've got most of the base down for the new flagstone walkway. And while the Green Force team is hard at work at that, I'm going to slip out and do a little bit of shopping. I want to get some signs made for the top of the building, and I want to do something in an industrialized metal sort of finish, and I have just the person to do it for me. So then our sign is about like this, so it's a big long rectangle, okay? So we got about 25 feet this way, and then here we've got about 5.5 to 6 feet, okay? So I wanted to do one big sheet of metal.
I'm hoping, because of the limitations of standard manufacturing of sheet, standard sheet 4x8, we can
Okay.
get a special 4x10, which could suit the purpose here. But that would restrict you or get you down to the parameters of 20x4, and we're gonna have to have a seam in the middle.
That's not such a bad thing because these are 2 separate signs because there are 2 art galleries in this building, all right? So if we had a gap here, right, if we're going 4x10, let's make it a 2-foot gap in the middle.
Okay, that
so
works.
then we have 2 separate signs for 2 separate galleries. Now, I wanted to do the words for the gallery kind of in the bottom corners here.
Okay.
All right? So sort of like that.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying, right to the edge, so that as if they sort of crept up into the sheet. Arson, let's play around. I'll show you a couple samples here.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
The signs for the space were a really important design element, not just because the students asked for them, but also because they help identify that there's two separate galleries and because they give that really good industrial feel to the entire space. I kind of thought you'd be further along at this point.
Yeah, me too, Carson.
Oh, what happened?
Basically, ground was frozen this morning, so we're having trouble grading it to put the stone on.
You're serious?
Dead serious.
Wow, okay, because we're about halfway to where we need to be. The frozen ground is a real problem for us. You see, the flagstone that we're putting in is a natural flagstone, which means it has inconsistencies. Some of the flagstone is 2 inches wide, some's 1.5 inches, some's 2.5. And the way we make it all level as a surface is by adjusting the base underneath.
Have I ever let you down?
I mean, that's a good point. All right, I will trust you on this. Well, it looks like we're gonna get lucky with this garden because it's gotten warmer outside, which means we can start putting down the stone and putting the planters in a lot quicker because the ground has thawed. Well, the space is slowly coming together, but we've got a lot done already. The retaining walls are complete and the carpenter's just building the frame to hold the glass. We've got lots of plants as well. Some have been in place, but others still have to be done. What is finished is the flagstone patio, and it looks amazing. In fact, once we clean it up, you'll really see the definition between the two colors, the black walkway and the beige space in between. I also had this little retaining wall built to really create the separation between the two galleries, which is going to be plated as well up top here. We'll have 2 big banner signs, which have been delivered, but as you can see, they haven't been installed yet. And believe it or not, we're actually getting very close to being done this space. And for once, the weather's working in our favor. I promised no rain. I just didn't say anything about snow. I know the glass looks really delicate, but believe it or not, that's only because it's been hand done by an artist. The width of the glass itself is actually thicker than the gallery window glass, which makes it more resilient to the outdoor temperatures and to any abuse that it might take. But here's your new space.
Wow, this is great.
Jim was most surprised about the walls. He was very concerned that those walls were going to overpower the space.
The Green Force team, along with the creative input from some local art and design students, have taken a bland patch of asphalt and are turning it into a beautiful piece of landscaped art.
Well, the Green Force team has worked really hard today and we've got a majority of the garden done. We just have a few things left to do, but once that's all complete, we can show Jim and the students a beautiful space. There we go. Exactly the way the windows in an art gallery should look. Perfectly clean, surrounded by beautiful plants, and ready for Jim. Well, you can kind of see the wall as you come up, but here's your new space.
Wow, this is great. You know, we hadn't been allowed to see it for a while, and the stone walls, the materials in those, the design of them look great. I love this wall with the cutouts and the glass. Oh, this is terrific.
Makes a statement.
Oh, it sure does.
Jim was most impressed with the walls, specifically because we combine natural materials with man-made products. And the contradiction between the two makes a very cool statement, exactly like he was hoping for the two galleries. And the glass is all handmade, okay?
Yeah.
So an artist did all of that work, yeah, absolutely. But more importantly, we lit it with lights.
Yeah.
So at night, that whole thing glows.
Now those trees look to me like they're pulled out a bit from the face of the building. Was that?
Well, we cheated it a little bit.
Right.
What I didn't want to have happen was to block those windows, right?
Okay.
And that was one of your directions that you gave us.
Right.
Don't block the windows. Yep. Every inch of the window needs to be used. So that's what we've done.
Yeah, and these have turned out well.
And this is the flagstone I was talking about with coming in from the angle, right? And you've got the black leading into the doors.
Right.
And then the buff in the in-between spaces.
And we made it all the way up to the height, which is nice. One of the things we were trying to achieve with the handicapped access.
Absolutely.
So that's all good. It's very inviting, and I think it really pulls people's eyes to the galleries. These planters, these are amazing. even from out there, even though they're high, because of the slope, they aren't blocking the windows, which again, the tenants were concerned about. So
Exactly. This is that little wall I was talking about that you didn't seem too
Right.
convinced about.
Yep.
Okay, what do you think now that it's in?
yeah, it's great.
If you stand back here a little bit and you look up with the wall and the pathways and the signs,
Right.
We have two separate entities, and it's obvious.
I know the tenants are going to be excited, and I bet the students are going to be pretty excited.
Well, at this point, as long as you're happy, we
Yeah.
should go get the students and the patrons and bring them out to see the new space.
Let's go see them.
Lead the way.
I love how it's all different parts of everyone's design together.
Overall, it's great. I think it really changes the space and the whole context of Ossington Street.
Hopefully it'll set a precedent for the rest of the street, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
People are gonna pretty much enjoy it, like for sure. For openings, it'll be great.
From the inspiration of the OCAD students to the construction of the Green Force team, this outdoor space got an updated makeover. And now, these two galleries make a first impression that we can all be proud of. My name is Carson Arthur. Thanks for watching.
As a nonprofit organization that just did a big renovation and have to deal with our daily bills on a daily basis, the front was something we just couldn't possibly get to. So for us, it's been a fantastic contribution to the organization. And I think it's certainly going to make the place more noticeable to the public. Now we have a very attractive front that's going to bring people into the galleries.